Hey there, it's Gary Parrish. It's Friday, February 4th, 2022. Welcome back to the CBS Sports Eye on College Basketball Podcast, where we sometimes discuss camel fighting, dodo birds, and leaky black. Matt Norlander is here with me. He's at home in Connecticut. You might notice if you're watching on YouTube, I'm still in New York City because Memphis is covered in ice, and I've had like 3 flights canceled. Hope everybody is safe back home. Either way, please note that the Eye on College Basketball Podcast is presented by Jersey Mike's, which is a proud sponsor of the Naismith Award. Jersey Mike's would like to offer congratulations to all of the athletes on this season's Naismith Watch list. And we'll get to that a little later on. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash the like button like you're Brandon Davies. It's right in front of you. It costs you nothing, but it sure would mean a lot to us. And while you're here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button too. It matters. So please help us with that. We thank you in advance. All right, Dead Leg, biggest game from Thursday night. It was UCLA at Arizona. It was a rematch of a game played 9 days earlier. These 40 minutes were a lot different than the previous 40 minutes. Last time, it was UCLA 75, Arizona 59 inside Pauley Pavilion. This time, Arizona 76, UCLA 66 inside the McKell Center. Home court advantage flipped it. 26 points. Dead Leg, your thoughts?
Good news for the Pac-12. By the way, I genuinely hope that you can get out. It's madness in my house. We'll get to Arizona, UCLA real quick, but no school for the kiddos here in Connecticut.
My kids are out of school too
because of impending ice. So the ice that's in Memphis is about to hit the Northeast. they did not go to school because the weather's fine now. It's raining. It's turning to ice. So I sincerely hope that you were able to fly out and are not stuck in New York.
I am operating under the assumption I'm just going to stay here all weekend, and I'll be back in studio Tuesday night.
It's a quasi quarantine situation, although not exactly. You know, you mentally prepared for this weeks ago, but now it just might be for the weather. So there we go. That was certainly a wonderful performance by Arizona last night. We'll get to some of the drama after the game in a second here. But as to the game itself, yeah, great news for the Pac-12, Parrish. I think UCLA and Zona on a resume level probably set up as 2 seeds right about now. If you want to make the case for Arizona right now as a 1, I think if you want to try and build that's reasonable. I did not check your refresh because I like to learn it on the podcast. So I don't know where you have them. Right now this morning, inform the audience watching live or listening on the pod, where are Arizona and UCLA now in your top 25 and 1?
Number 1, Auburn. Number 2, Gonzaga. Number 3, Kentucky. Number 4, Baylor. Arizona 5, UCLA 6. I would have them both 2 seeds right now.
Okay, so we agree with that. As it stands, this is Arizona's record. We are officially into February, which means not that these teams are bubble teams, but I'm good with the bubble talk once we flip to February here, and some more resume referencing will certainly be commencing here as we are creeping ever so closely to March. So Arizona's just 2-2 in quad 1 right now. Now it's flawless everywhere else. 4-1 quad 2, and then play 12 combined Q3 and Q4 games. But I thought that was significant last night to get the win, get it definitively the way that it did, and get another quad 1 game. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, shouts to Nada. He's got
YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
He's got the stats up right now, and you can see what Zona was able to do. Now, what this stat page doesn't have is the fact that Ben Mathurin and Julius Tabellis, they weren't even used down the stretch. They were sitting on the bench there. And Kirk Creesa had a wonderful game. Dalen Terry had an awesome night, 10, 9, and 7. And I thought that was fairly significant. So yeah, I just thought it was the best case scenario for the Pac-12, which has got a shot here at sending UCLA and Arizona to the 1 or 2 line. USC, if it can avoid bad losses, also is going to potentially be a top 4 seed. And that was my primary takeaway on the game overall. And to get Arizona to respond well like this after UCLA clearly won definitively at Pauley Pavilion 9 days ago, a nice little turn of events and a nice little game out west, and good on Tommy Lloyd. He continues to be in the running, top 5 to 7 candidates for National Coach of the Year.
It was a awesome Thursday night for me because my initial flight was canceled before I even left studio on Wednesday night. So I didn't have to get up early. I got a nice night of sleep on Wednesday night. And then they put a Pac-12 game on ESPN in primetime here on the East Coast.
At 8 Eastern, yeah.
Which they should do more often. I know it's not totally up to them, but I think it's a big deal to have those schools playing not at 11 Eastern, And so I usually when we talk on Fridays and there's like late night stuff that happened on Thursdays, I'm like, I didn't see it. I got 2 hours of sleep on Wednesday night, flew home, did a radio show, went to sleep. I saw everything last night. And as for the game, like it was just a basketball game. I didn't think anything in particular stood out other than Arizona looked vastly different offensively than it was in the first game. That first game last week at Pauley, they were terrible, like uncharacteristically terrible offensively. Shot 30.7% from the field, 25% from three, 54.5% from the free throw. Couldn't make a shot from anywhere. On Thursday night in Tucson, 48% from the field, 36.4% from three, 66.7% from the free throw line. So better in every way. 5 players finishing double figures. Yeah, I don't want to say they controlled the game from start to finish because, it was a one possession game with 3:54 left, but UCLA was down 17. Then they come back, make it where you like, okay, well, maybe they can, if not win, at least cover. But Arizona then closed on a 12-5 run, and they win the game by 10. My main takeaway, whatever, these teams could play again tomorrow on a neutral court, and it would maybe be tied with 2 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. My main takeaway is that both these teams are really, you ready for this? Enlightening stuff. They're both really good. They could play for the Pac-12 tournament title. They could play for the national title. They could play for anything. Nothing would surprise me with these teams. And I know that, once UCLA got blown out by Gonzaga and then took the loss to Oregon at home with no fans, by the way, that's when people started chirping a little bit. Tried to tell you, this was a team that was in the first 4 last season. And yeah, they got hot and made the Final Four, but it wasn't really one of the best teams in the country. They just got hot and made a run, and you overrated them in the preseason. It's February 4th now. We got a pretty good sample size on what UCLA is, and UCLA is undeniably one of the best teams in the country. Number 18 in offensive efficiency, number 9 in defensive efficiency. Arizona, and this underlines the initial point, 13th in offensive efficiency, 5th in defensive efficiency. Both those numbers according to KenPom. Trivia time.
Let's go.
Only 5 schools in the entire country right now, at this moment, are top 20 in both adjusted offensive efficiency and adjusted defensive efficiency according to KenPom. I just gave you 2 of them, dead leg, Arizona and UCLA. Can you name the other 3?
Baylor. Right?
Wrong.
Baylor's not. Gonzaga?
Wrong.
Top 20 in offensive and defensive efficiency?
That's what I said.
Gonzaga's not top 20 in offense. Okay. Baylor's not is also surprising. And Houston would have been my other guess.
Well, then well, Houston's right. Jesus Christ. Did I mess this up? I hope not.
Oh,
I hope not. I'm sorry. Dead leg.
So should
yeah, that's right.
Here's the problem. Initially, I just had it top 15, and then I expanded it to include UCLA, and I got a little goofy. Baylor is in there. 5 in offense, 16 in defense. What other one did you say?
Gonzaga.
Damn it. 2 in offense, 17 in defense. Okay, let me rephrase. Let's start over. Nada, delete all that. We're going to start over. Trivia time. Only 7 teams? It could be more.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure of anything right now. Only 7 teams in the entire country, give or take a few, are both top 20 offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, according to KenPom. Can you name them? I gave you 2, Arizona, UCLA.
I gave you 2 more.
Gonzaga and
I gave you 3 more.
Houston and Auburn. Is that what you said? All right. What are the other ones?
I was about to say Auburn. You just told me, so I guess that's the 6th team. Amazing.
One of them.
We are headed toward RJ Barrett trivia time categories at this point. There's one more.
I don't know anymore.
Gonzaga, Zona, UCLA, Auburn, Houston, Baylor.
There's one more.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, there could be more. There could be more than one more, but there's.
I'm going to
there's at least
workshop this
one
one.
more.
I know it's not Purdue, obviously, because of defense, and I know Kansas isn't really good defensively, so I know it's not them. I'm trying to think of who else is. Kentucky is obviously my guess. Then Kentucky's been awesome this season.
Let's look at Kentucky. Damn it! All right, there's one more. Okay, let me. Everybody is ranked in the top 20 in adjusted offensive efficiency. Turns out everybody is ranked in the top 20 adjusted offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency.
Simply amazing, dude. This went from 2 to 6 to 8 to 17 teams.
It started. We went from 5, and now I think we're up to. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You lose.
8. There's 8. 8 is the correct answer. I had it at 5 minutes ago.
Who haven't I named?
Duke?
Yes. Someone in the chat is saying this should be a win for me and a loss for you. That is correct. This is a loss. Docket Reddit. This is a loss for GP. Unacceptable. I've been there before. Hey, I've been there before, and I will be again, just so we're all clear on this. I'll try and legitimately guess it. So Kentucky's another one. But you said Auburn, top 20 in both. The last team would be.
I think we've named them all.
No, stop.
Okay, I'm just gonna shut up. You finish this podcast. Just don't forget the Jersey Mike's mid-show.
You got a Jersey Mike's deal coming, just so everyone's aware. I don't know. I don't think it's anyone in the Big East, and I don't think it would be anyone else in the SEC. No, Pac-12. You know what? I don't feel like Texas Tech would be it, but that's gonna be my blind guess because it's played well. Texas Tech.
I think we've named them all.
Okay.
Here's what I got: Auburn, Houston, Duke, Arizona, UCLA, Kentucky, Baylor, Gonzaga.
Yes. There's not another team.
I mean, who could say for sure at this point? You know,
Right.
Do I look like Ken Palm to you?
Absolutely not.
I wish I looked like Ken Palm or ASAP Rocky.
That's quite the comparison there.
Just to be clear, I'd rather look like ASAP Rocky.
Okay.
ASAP Rocky. Congratulations to ASAP Rocky having a baby with Rihanna. First, congratulations on having premarital sex with Rihanna. But beyond that,
it's premarital. We know it's premarital.
They're not married.
Okay, well, it's premarital.
Anything before marriage is technically considered premarital. So congrats to ASAP Rocky on having premarital sex with Rihanna. Congrats on the baby. I think that's the most beautiful rapper in the world. ASAP Rocky. Unless you go with Megan Thee Stallion.
We went from 2 teams to 5 teams to 8 teams to 17 teams in the top 20 in offensive and defensive efficiency to ASAP Rocky. That is why you come here. The first college sports podcast to ever be on YouTube and on video.
Yep.
What else do you want from us there? Okay, real quick. There was actual news that came out of this. So Arizona wins. And as UCLA is walking off the floor, Mac Etienne, who is a freshman who's not playing this season, was reportedly arrested and cited for assault because the Arizona fans were trash talking UCLA as it walked off the floor. And then it sure looks like he spit on a fan or at the fans. And so UCLA has yet to release a statement about this, or at least acknowledging the player as we record this Friday morning. I would say that Mick Cronin would suspend this player from playing. He's not playing this season, but it actually is a news event. I got a push alert on CBS Sports. If you're not subscribed to the CBS Sports app on your phone, feel free to do so because you get plenty of news and video and podcast alerts. But you just can't have this. If Texas Tech was able to be on its quote unquote best behavior after everything surrounding that game, a UCLA player walking off the floor can handle the Arizona razzing that went on. I don't know what was said. It might have been something completely unacceptable, but you cannot have players spitting on fans. So I didn't want to simply ignore it and pretend like it didn't happen. It's not a major headline, but you can't have it. There's video out there that was passed around on social media where you can clearly see what happens. And it's not flattering to ETN or UCLA, but if, I assume UCLA will address this further on Friday or
Yeah, they released a statement just saying they're aware of an incident and
Yeah.
they'll, blah, 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 blah. It's a major headline in the sense that you would tell you where I saw it first, TMZ. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I actually saw it in our Slack room when I woke up this morning. Someone had shared it, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't see it last night, or if I did, I forgot. But I saw it at TMZ this morning. I wake up every morning and scroll through TMZ to see if anybody died or anybody did anything crazy. And there it was, UCLA basketball for spitting on the Arizona fans. Like, I know you said it appears to have spit. He spit. I know a spitter when I see one.
Have you ever spit on someone? I can say no, 100%.
I mean, probably when I was a kid.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, not lately. I hadn't spitting on anybody lately.
That's like one of the all-time, like, you do that to someone, it's go time.
It's time to fight on site.
Someone spits at you, dude? Yeah. Like among the all-time like insulting things you can ever do to someone? Yeah, absolutely.
Would you fight somebody you would clearly whip you if they spit on you?
Of course not. You gotta assess the situation.
I think you have to assess the situation.
Yeah, you gotta assess the situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
sure. I never understood people who said, "Oh, you got to fight over that." Like, "Oh, he took your girl. You got to fight over that." And, "Oh, he spit on you. You got to go."
Like, you know what? Just take her.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah. I think you have to size it up. Like if one guy takes your girl, maybe we have to fight. Another guy takes your girl, maybe I just have to lose her. I'm not trying to get beat up, lose my girl, and get beat up all in the same week. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
I never understood this fighting on principle stuff. Everybody I grew up with wants to fight on principle. I have no principles. There is nothing you could do to me that would guarantee I'd have to fight you.
That's amazing to me. But yeah, no, I this idea, it's like, watch out, gonna take your girl. GP's like, yeah, you're good. Like, what do you want me to do here? I'm outclassed, outmanned. I'm gonna take the L.
No, for real. One time I was just out of college and I was we'll get back to basketball. I was dating this girl. She's a sweet girl. I'm sure she's doing great these days. And we were supposed to go out one weekend and she said, "Hey, it just turned into a girls' weekend with my sister and some other people and whatever." And I said, "Okay, that's cool. Have a good time." And so I was like, "Hey, so-and-so is doing something else tonight. You guys want to go do this other thing?" And so we went out and we ended up at the same place. And she was with the dude. I'm not exaggerating.
I think you shared this like 6 years ago on the pod, but keep going. Yeah.
Dude was a legit bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I don't mean like like he lifted weights or worked out. I mean, that's what he did. He was a bodybuilder. He was in competitions. And so one of my buddies was like, "Yo, I just saw so-and-so and she's with that guy. You remember that guy we saw this other time one time?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, let's go handle this. And I was like, "You just asked me if I remember that other guy. He's a bodybuilder. What am I going to do with a bodybuilder? He just gets to have her now. That's over with now. What am I going to do? Go look up at this big guy? Be like, what do you do? What am I going to do? He'll kill me. You get your hands off her. Hey, what are you doing here with her? What am I going to do? It's over with. On to the next one. I just lost her to a bodybuilder, which made sense.
Oh, man.
Why would you be with me if you could be with a bodybuilder, I don't even blame her. I completely understand.
All right, I'm done with that game.
Before we get to the final 4-1, I want to tell you about a new segment we're going to be doing every single Friday. It's the Naismith Watch segment presented by Jersey Mike's, where Norlander and I are going to give you our top 3 candidates in this moment for the Naismith National Player of the Year Award. At this point, in some seasons, I think the leader is pretty obvious. This season, I'm not certain that's true. Deadleg, I'll let you go first. If you were submitting a Naismith ballot today, what 3 names would you put at the top of your list?
Right now, well, first of all, this is a company-wide thing. So I've got to submit a top 10 for the social media. So I did this earlier in the week. I gave them my top 10. They asked for it like on Monday, so I gave it to them Monday. And then they ran it Thursday. And in between that, Illinois beat Wisconsin. So on Monday, I liked Johnny Davis ahead of Kofi Coburn. And then Kofi Coburn went out and had 37 points on 16 of 19 shooting and like 13 rebounds. And I didn't update my list. And then they posted it with the list I gave them. And then I got dragged in the IG comments because I had Johnny Davis. I do not have Johnny Davis ahead of Kofi Coburn anymore. Gonna have to amend my process on this going forward. Can't have this many days between submitting my list and then that happened.
I had one of those one time. I submitted a mock draft, and then the Instagram account, like the CBS Sports Instagram account, they're great. You know, it was a mistake any of us could make. I blame nobody. Sometimes mistakes happen. But they messed something up and had somebody going like number 1 or number 3 that just should not have been there. And I don't follow that stuff so closely. And I was getting dragged. Who is this idiot who has this person? I'm like, that's not what I got. I didn't do that. And then I had to like send an email off and be like, you got to do something about that. I'm getting killed over something I didn't actually do. Happy to get killed over things I do. Not that though.
Happy to have your girl get taken, but when it
I want to be clear. I don't want my girl to be taken ever.
I know.
But if a bodybuilder takes your girl, what am I going to do about that?
You better hope there aren't like really attractive, well-built men around the greater Memphis area who are diehard listeners to this podcast that feel like there might be an opening. That's all I'm saying right now.
The good thing, I appreciated this when I was a young person. I had friends who would fight for me. One time a guy was trying to take my girl. I don't know if he actually succeeded. This was high school. And one of my friends was, I swear, this is the people I grew up with. He was like, we were at a party and they were like, hey, there's that guy. And I heard about what he was trying to do. And I said, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And he was like, I'm going to fight him for you. And I said, well, you don't have to do that. Next thing I know, he sucker punched the guy. Whole fight next to a bonfire. That guy was more interested in defending my honor than me.
I'm the man who will fight for your honor.
Yeah, that's Karate Kid 2, I think.
Boom. That's where I was just.
Karate Kid 2.
Who did the song?
It's not Bryan Adams. Is it Bryan Adams?
No, it's not. In fact, I don't even know the artist. It is Chris Zabriskie. Didn't even know the song, don't know the man. This is the Jersey Mike's Naismith National Player of the Year segment. So here are my top. So anyway, I did a top 10, got a top 3, but I might also give you a couple bonus ones after we talk our top 3. Right now, again, if we had to vote today, I would say Kentucky's Oscar Tshiebwe in the 1 spot, Kofi Coburn of Illinois at number 2. And then I would say Ochai Agbaji of Kansas at 3, because a week and a half ago, I would have had Ochai in the number 1 spot. But right now today, and this is a great season to do this, Parrish, because there are a lot of viable candidates. That's my top 3 right now. Got a couple more I'll mention in a second. But I like the fact that this literally could change on a week-by-week basis, because guess what? It pretty much has been changing on a week-by-week basis over the past 5 or 6 weeks. What about you?
As you mentioned Ochai, I go, man, should I have had Ochai? Like, maybe. We agree on 2 of the 3. My number 1 is Oscar Tshiebwe. Like, at this point, he's averaging 16.1 points, 15.2 rebounds. For a team I got ranked 3rd in the top 25 and 1. So he checks every box. He's statistically awesome on a great team. Number 2, I've got Kofi Coburn. I mean, just did a 37-12 game. And I went over Wisconsin, 22.1 points, 11.6 rebounds. For a team I got ranked 15th in the top 25 and 1. And number 3, I've got Johnny Davis, 21.4 points, 8.3 rebounds. For a team that I've got ranked 16th in the top 25 and 1. He wasn't great in Wednesday's loss at Illinois. You know, just 5 of 19 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, but he still had 22 points and 15 rebounds in that game. Really nice rebounder for a 6'5" guard. He's grabbed 15 rebounds in each of Wisconsin's past 2 games. To me, what's interesting about this, and it can maybe expand into a larger conversation. So my top 2 for National Player of the Year, and I believe yours as well, Oscar Tshiebwe and Kofi Coburn. Neither one show up on mock drafts. They are awesome college basketball players, but because they are largely digital centers, nobody wants them. Like Oscar is 74th on Sam Vecini's big board for the 2022 NBA draft. He's not in Kyle Boone. Shouts to Strong Jaw. Not in his top 50. Not in Jonathan Gavoni's top 58. and there's only 58 picks in the 2022 NBA draft because NBA teams keep cheating. So like he's not considered a first or second round pick according to Jonathan Givony. Kofi, same deal. 64th on Sam's big board, not in Kyle Boone's top 50, and not in Jonathan Givony's first round or second round. Like that's how. If it's 2022, if this were 1992, where would Kofi Coburn get drafted? Where would Oscar Tshiebwe get drafted?
Both top 5. If they're having the seasons they're having right now and it's 1992, it's not even a question. It's which of these two probably is going number 1 overall. Oh, that's kind of unfair because if Jabari Smith was also playing in 1992 doing the things he was doing, he'd be there too. I think
here's the interesting thing. In 1992, Jabari Smith wouldn't be doing the things he's doing.
Right. Completely fair. That's right. You wouldn't expect Jabari Smith to be doing what he was doing in 92, whereas Kofi and Oscar would have the same games because this is how they play. Now Seth Davis tweeted something about this, I think Thursday or Wednesday, and I do agree with him. He likes the fact that college basketball does have this because it gives it a little more spice, a little more variety. You have a true big man that, yes, is limited to a certain extent to the point where not projected to be first-round NBA picks and maybe not second-round picks, but I like this very thing about college basketball. I like how different styles make for really compelling fights, and Illinois doesn't solely rely on Kofi, but he's their best player. In fact, I think Illinois is a fun potential Final Four dark horse here in early February because of the different kind of playmakers it's got on that team and how well it's comprised, and they're finally getting healthy. But it is interesting. But yes, so we agree. Those are 1, 2. You went with Davis. I would have Davis in my top. I would have Davis 4th. And just real quick on this, once you get to 5, there's a lot of candidates, and there's still guys that can jump up. Jabari Smith is in there, but like Walker Kessler's also been awesome. So I don't know. And it's important to remember being a very good player on a highly seeded team helps you. It doesn't absolutely have to be that way, but generally speaking, the National Player of the Year tends to come from someone on a top 10 level kind of team. So my number 5 right now, you know who it is? I'd go Jaden Ivey. Because he's been better as of late than I think Travion Williams is Purdue's most important player. But Jaden Ivey is averaging 17, 5, and 3. He's been really good as of late. Now, Zach Edey's also awesome, but Ivey's shooting 43.6% from three-point range, 51% inside the arc there. A reliable free throw shooter. O rating at KenPom of 118. They've got 3 awesome players who are going to be under All-American consideration. But because Purdue right now is 19-3. I put Ivy there in the 5 spot for now. He could be down at 10 a week from now. I actually think there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of different players there overall. And again, that's why I think this is going to be a really fun year to track this because the preseason prognostications have come true, Parrish. We have a lot of really good teams and a lot of players that return to the sport, and the sport collectively having that bonus year. It's led to a lot of guys having awesome seasons, and this is pretty cool. It's actually going to be hard this season to narrow our first, second, and third All-American teams down to 15 players because I think we'll have 25 to 30 guys that'll have a case to be on those teams.
Jaden Ivey, favorite basketball player of CBS executives who have to deal with the AFC title game. Do you know how much of a disaster that would have been if he would have missed that shot?
If they had gone to OT and yeah.
I had a long conversation the other day with somebody, and they were like, he saved us. Like, if that game goes to overtime, it is an actual disaster for CBS Sports. So shouts to Jaden Ivey. Are your go-to game day foods feeling uninspired? Next time, skip the usual suspects and order Jersey Mike's. At Jersey Mike's, they make every sub to order with premium. Fresh sliced meat and cheesesteaks are cooked on a flat-top grill. Download their app for delivery, curbside, or in-store pickup. Jersey Mike's is a proud sponsor of the Naismith Award and a proud maker of a sub above. You ready for the Final 4-on-1? I'm looking forward to this. I took the lead last week, I think.
All right, Nada, come on in. Come on into the room. Happy Friday morning to you, Nada. How about we get a little record update here on the Final 4-on-1?
So first things first, it's very shameful that you would let the bodybuilder take your girl and at least not fight. First things first, I had to say that.
Nada, what are my options? Okay, so I can either just let it go and move on, which is what I actually did, kinda. I mean, it might have took 2 months to move on, but I moved on eventually. And okay, so that's option A. And option B is get beat up by a bodybuilder and still lose the girl. What is the point?
Sir, they have knees. They have appendages that like tear and break. They have knees. You always attack the joints. That's what you do.
Nada. You and I, we haven't known each other too long. One thing, I've known myself longer than you've known me. I'm pretty confident I cannot beat up a bodybuilder any way you slice it.
But then again, you are in Memphis, and clearly, as you explained later, you have people to fight for you.
I could have done that.
Now, that's not like wrapping presents for you, but you have people willing to fight for you.
I did have people, like, I do have friends. I don't know if they'd fight for me today. It's been a long time. I don't keep in touch with all of them as much as maybe I should. But back then, absolutely 100%. If I'd have said, go get him, they'd have got him. They'd have got him. Mississippi style, if you know what I mean.
Yes, exactly. So, unfortunately, I have to inform you, GP, you didn't have your standard week. You only went 2-3 last week.
Damn
so
it.
You're now 3 games under 500, 22-25. Norlander had a 3-2 week.
Oh, no.
And it really, again, 28-19. He's commanding. Like, if you were to bet along with Norlander, you'd probably make a significant amount of money. So there's that. Y'all are doing well, though. Yeah, again, you've recovered well, though, GP. You got to think about it like that. Considering where you were, you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like UCLA on Thursday night. Got off to a rough start. I'm coming back. I'm making it competitive. Decent chance I'll still lose at the end. But I've came back and made it competitive.
Chance, it's a lock, and we never even agreed to the wager for this season. So not only I'm winning, and I'm not winning anything.
I almost reached out to you yesterday, and then I decided I had too much work to do, plus UCLA, Arizona. But I was trapped here in New York, and theoretically had a Thursday night off. I don't ever really have time to do anything when I'm here for studio work. Eddie Vedder was at the Beacon Theater. I almost went to see Eddie Vedder.
You should have.
Well, I wanted to watch Arizona, UCLA, and write North Carolina Duke blurbs.
Fair enough. Yeah. You should have bought those Rage tickets, because aren't we going to see them together? Or at least you're buying me a ticket. Yeah, that's a debt from 2 years ago that you still need to pay up on. We never even got to terms for this year. Just send me another deep dish pizza, I guess. Whatever. So, yeah, you ain't catching me. I mean,
I'll go to Rage with you.
Okay. It's on you to get the tickets.
It's fine. I'll get the tickets.
You're gonna fly up. We're gonna see him up here.
Yeah, like when's the show? Like if it's during baseball season and the Mets.
It's been postponed, I think, for like the 6th time. But
yeah, I'll come up. I'll go to a Mets game and go to a Rage show, and then I'll go back home.
All right, we'll figure that out. That's from like 2 years ago. This year, still got nothing.
Sorry that a pandemic came, dead leg. What do you want me to do? I'm not in charge of concerts.
No, we never agreed to terms of this season-long Final Four and 1 on terms of what was on. It's fine. What's the first game?
Game 1, Saturday, noon Eastern. Number 18, Illinois at Indiana inside Tom Crean Hall. He won outright. Outright Big 10 championships multiple times. Respect them. It's Tom Crean Hall. KenPom has it Indiana -1. You can watch it on ESPN.
Indiana -1. Big game for the Hoosiers here.
Big game for the internet in Indiana.
It is.
It is a big game for the internet in Indiana. If Indiana loses it, internet's out.
Okay.
Nobody in Indiana will be able to tweet. But if they win it,
you do it to yourself, and that's what really hurts, Parrish. You are just
if they win it, boy, internet gonna be rocking and rolling, record speeds. Can't wait.
I am excited to see Trace versus Kofi. Indiana has won 4 of its past 5. The only loss coming at home to Michigan on January 23rd in a non-competitive game. But remember, they did beat Purdue before that. Hoosiers got a chance to make a significant statement and continue to keep the Big Ten race a bit of a jumble here. In the loss column right now, Illinois and Michigan State are tied. Michigan State's got a bit more of a gimme, but not a gimme. Michigan State plays at Rutgers this weekend. So there's a chance that MSU could be ahead of Illinois once we get out of the weekend here. Indiana in league play is 7-4. So, I know these, vying for a conference title means a ton to these fan bases. And this is the kind of game where if Indiana fans think they might have an outside shot, you got to win this game at home. And you know what? I'm going with them. Give me the Hoosiers at home to win, to cover, and a pretty good one. We got a great Saturday ahead, and this is a great way to get it going with a noon Eastern tip.
No, it's terrific. I'm going Indiana too, because if the internet starts working on Saturday, then I want to be able to say, "Why are you tweeting me? I picked you to win."
All right.
Why are you tweeting me? I said on the Ion College Basketball Podcast, I thought you were going to win. So my pick is Indiana. I'm laying that point. Game 2, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Number 8 Baylor at number 10 Kansas. Inside TJ Gasnola Fieldhouse. KenPom has it Kansas -1. You can watch it on ESPN.
Man, this is a great Saturday.
It really is. Like,
I think it might be the best one yet so far this season.
looking forward to being stuck in this hotel room all day.
Yeah, you might be posted up there. So I don't know the status of Ochai Agbaji. He was held out of the game. He didn't travel to Iowa State. Do you know? I don't think they've given an update here. He didn't. He was not because of COVID. So I don't know if he's eligible to play in this game.
There is no official update yet. Kansas at Iowa State was without Ochai, without Remy Martin, still won the game. I think as of this moment, it remains unclear, at least to the general public, whether Ochai and Remy Martin will be available for Saturday's game against Baylor.
Obviously a significant factor. Now, Baylor is the one playing on the road here. So Kansas gets this game at home. Baylor's been slipping as of late. You know, James Akinjo is not all the way back on 100% just yet. He has been playing. So, you know, I'm of the mind it's one of those deals where even if you're injured, if you're on the court and you're able to play, like, you know, we're going to evaluate you, you know, like you're mostly healthy here because you're able to go. LJ Cryer, obviously, who has been Baylor's leading scorer, has not played in BU's past 2 games as well. We just might not see both of these teams at full strength. They will play again on February 26th, so 3 weeks down the road, we will see these 2 teams play again in Waco. But with this one, Kansas at home, all these uncertain factors, I will take the Jayhawks. It's a fairly small line and understandably small. And even if Baylor loses this game by 12, I'm not selling my bear stock. I still think that this team will be capable, if fully healthy, of making another Final Four run. But here on Saturday, even if there's no Ochai, I will go with KU. Christian Brown's been playing pretty well as late. And this, like, is this kind of a game? This is what I want to see. Like, will this be a game where Jalen Wilson just, you know, steps up and plays exceedingly well? Well, they need him to do that. Jalen Coleman-Lanz has had some nice moments there. David McCormick's been a bit up and down, but I will take KU to win a compelling but close one.
They got pounded at home last week.
They did. I find it unlikely that will happen in back-to-back Saturdays.
It can't happen in back-to-back Saturdays, can it?
I don't think so.
We can't spend back-to-back Saturdays watching Kansas lose at Allen Fieldhouse. Although what I'm saying right now is wildly disrespectful to the Drew family. I'm torn on this. I don't know what to do.
By the way, I see it in the comments. I think I brought this up as a stat. Don't think KU has ever lost consecutive home games under Bill Self. This was a trivia time a couple weeks ago. If you didn't listen to the pod then. Kansas has not lost back-to-back home games since 1989. They're not losing this game. 89. That's got to be the longest streak in the history of men's college basketball. No other team has ever done this. More than 3 decades without back-to-back home losses. You already know what to do. Pick the game. Let's go.
I lost a girlfriend in 1989.
Okay.
That's not true.
Well, that's understandable. That was your junior year of college. So.
I'll take Kansas. I can't imagine them losing back-to-back home games like on consecutive weekends. I mean, I'm wrong all the time, so who knows? But I'll take Kansas -1. Game 3, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern, number 9 Duke at North Carolina inside the P.J. Harrison Center. Remember when that dude just couldn't stop driving rental cars? Every time he get pulled over, he's in a rental car he's not supposed to have.
I do remember that. Trivia time.
Okay, let's go.
If you read the power rankings, you'll know the answer.
Oh God, come on!
There we go.
Nobody reads the power ranking. I click on your stories. I swear to God, it says 19-minute read. I'm like, what the? Are you kidding me? I'll watch it.
The power rankings is a solid 11 minutes. What do you want from me?
I'm gonna watch Righteous Gemstones. I'm not trying to read 19 minutes straight.
All right, here we go. The chat might know this, so don't look at the comments. All right, no cheating.
Okay, I'm actually gonna put it. I'm gonna click away right now. I clicked away.
I'm not going to give you any hints. How many wins has Mike Krzyzewski had at North Carolina as the Duke coach?
Okay, I'm gonna take 22.
No, that's high. So we're going to mark that as an incorrect answer.
Oh God!
But give me a second guess. That's
17.
Boom. Boom. Too bad you didn't get it the first time. 17 is the answer. He is 17-19 all time at the Dean Dome and 17-23 all time at Carolina per College Sports Reference when I checked this earlier in the week. That's actually, come on now. Think about how many good Carolina teams there have been. That's a pretty impressive mark overall. That many wins against good Carolina teams. You know, Duke's been good in plenty of years as well, but I thought that was pretty notable, right?
Of course it's notable. Everything about Mike Krzyzewski is notable. Ken Pom has it Duke -3. You can watch it on ESPN.
There we go. We talked about Carolina's resume and how it's wanting at the moment.
0-6 in quadrant 1, just 4-6 in the first 2 quadrants. This is This is a team that Jerry Palm and Joe Lunardi are fighting over. Not actually fighting. They're just different on it. Lunardi's got Carolina in the field. Palm does not.
By the way, past 100 meetings, teams have split 50-50. Duke, if it can get a win here, as a side note, looking down the road, it will be in a strong position. I'm not going to trivia time you on this because you know it, and it's we've talked about it plenty. But if Duke wins here, Carolina's only 8-3 in the league. It's got a 1-game lead in the loss column. It will have a stronger chance of getting its first standalone regular season ACC title since 2006. I think winning on the road in this spot would go a long way toward that. I want to see Baycott versus. I'm actually kind of curious to see how Baycott gets matched up defensively. How much is it going to be Mark Williams? How much of it is going to be Paolo Banchero? And Carolina going to be ready to go for this? Because Duke's got a squad here, and this is a big time moment for a UNC team in need of a huge win. I really want to take Carolina in the spot, Parrish. I can't convince myself to do it.
God.
I really want to. I want to take them here. I do.
Take them. Because I want to take Duke. Because I don't think
you just. Do I give you a freebie? You want me to just give you this freebie, huh?
Well, no. I mean, it'll probably be wrong because I want it. Everything I want is wrong in all aspects of my life.
AJ Griffin's been really strong as of late. Leaky Black, by the way, in all earnesty, whatever. We have not talked a ton about Leaky Black on this podcast, even though Parrish mentions it at the top of every episode. He has been very good as of late. He's really he's built himself a nice career at North Carolina, and I think he's going to have a nice game here. I'm taking Duke. I'm sorry. I actually think it would be more interesting to the college basketball landscape in the ACC if Duke lost this game, and I like the fact that North Carolina is not doing anything special for Coach K. There's not going to be any, unless they're, secretly planning something like, Roy Williams saying hello to Coach K is about all we're going to get here. There's no gifts. There's no ceremony. Good. You're blood rivals. You don't need to do something special for Duke. You hate Duke. They hate you. We don't need to, this isn't most other ACC opponents. So I kind of like the fact that this is just kind of like, yeah, come on in. We'll play a game like we always do. Building will be filled. We hope we beat you. And there we go. Give me Duke to win. But narrowly, I think Carolina shows itself well and Duke wins by 4 or 5 points.
I'll take North Carolina plus the points because I got to make up this gap somehow.
Listen, by when you do this, you just dig the hole for yourself further. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been doing that my whole life, dead leg.
Right. Yeah.
North Carolina's only got 4 more quadrant 1 opportunities at this moment. This one, and then the next 3 are on the road. At Clemson, at Virginia Tech, at Duke. And KenPom projects them as underdogs in each of those games. They could legit finish or legit head into the ACC tournament 0-10 in quadrant 1.
Wow. Nah, I don't think that's happening. They're getting a couple.
They'll get 2.
Okay.
You think they'll get 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Come find me like the show before Selection Sunday. UNC will have at least 2 quad 1 wins by the time we get there. Yeah.
Game 4 Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Number 5 Kentucky at Alabama inside Gerald Wallace Coliseum. You don't remember Gerald Wallace?
I do. I can't believe. I understand why you'd pick this game. What are we doing? We're going to try and predict what Alabama's going to do right now.
Alabama's wild.
You didn't think this through, my man.
Alabama
There's
is
no
wild.
telling what this game's going to be.
Alabama is wild. Alabama's got wins over the teams ranked 1st, 3rd, 6th, 13th, and 15th at KenPom, and losses to the teams ranked 135th and 211th at KenPom.
Team's 14-8. Did you see the renderings of the new?
Yes, looks
Look
great.
Awesome. Yeah,
awesome.
Come on, let's go. Have you been in Coleman? I've never been in Coleman Coliseum.
Of course, I've been to Coleman
It
Coliseum.
kind of looks cool on TV, but apparently it's just old, outdated.
It's old. There was a few of those in the SEC. Like they just for years they didn't care about basketball. Right. So you had Coleman Coliseum, the old Auburn Arena, the old Ole Miss Arena. Mm. You had a lot of Mississippi State, which is still old. You've got a lot of just sort of cookie cutter. These are the things we built. These are the type of arenas they built in this time. But some schools are obviously upgrading those. Auburn Arena is awesome. The Pavilion at Ole Miss is awesome. And Coleman Coliseum, this new Alabama one is going to be awesome. It actually looks, best I could tell, a lot like the Pavilion at Ole Miss.
Mm. Yeah, it looks cool. Those images came out earlier in the week, and it'll obviously be a few years down the road. But that's not just overdue. But you hire Nate Oates, it hits, and you got momentum. Alabama's got plenty of cash to do this as well. But yeah, that's cool. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm going Bama. Give me Bama straight up. Straight up. Here we go. Bama to win, beat Kentucky. Why the hell not? Get to 15-8. Then it'll lose at Ole Miss. Then it'll beat Arkansas at home. Then it'll lose at home to Mississippi State. What do you want from me? I'm going to take the Tide. Sure, why not? Has an awesome game. Tide. I'm going. Shoots 44% from 3. Has an above average night from 3-point range. Almost weirdly good. Kentucky fans are familiar with the idea of opponents having strangely good nights from 3-point range against the Wildcats. So I'm going to say that happens here, and they wind up winning. Tide. Let's go.
I'll take Kentucky. I'll lay the points.
I gave you that one, by the way.
Ty Washington and Xavier Wheeler, both healthy and available to play. Kentucky's only lost twice all season when those guys are available to play. When they both start a game and finish the game.
Sure. No, absolutely. It's time for the weekend TV guide here.
Oh wow, that music's back. That's awesome.
It is. Big time fan.
I know how much everybody enjoys that music.
They do for sure. Friday. St. Bonaventure at Richmond. ESPN 2, 6 Eastern. Bonaventure's got to win it if they don't have any chance.
Bodies are. It's not happening for them.
Any chance? Got to get it done. Okay. 7:00. Bubbly game Friday. Fox Sports 1. Creighton at Seton Hall. Kind of an urgent game for both of those teams. Keep an eye on that. And then Friday, best game of the night. San Diego State at Colorado State. Mountain West got some love in this week's court report. Over under 3.5 bid from the Mountain West this year. GP.
Over. I think it's going to be 4. And it might be like Fresno State's closer to those other 4 than people think.
Absolutely agree. Now they got to get some good wins, but Fresno State's the 5th team in the mix there. And if they can have a good February, yeah, they're going to be there. And just as importantly, their net ranking and the conference overall, there's enough good teams where, you don't have a lot of quad 3, quad 4 games bogging the league down. Saturday games that you should be aware of in chronological order. UConn at Nova. Nova gets swept by Marquette on Wednesday night. Only the 3rd team, this was said on the broadcast, only the 3rd team since the Big East reformed to sweep Nova.
Trivia time!
I know them. I mean, do you know them?
Damn it. Never cancel trivia time. Trivia time has been canceled.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know the last team to do it was Butler.
Team before that was Creighton with McDermott. There we go. Now Marquette's done it. Credit to you, Marquette. Marquette tied with Auburn, Baylor, a few other teams for most quad 1 wins, right? I think that's the case. Bring it up right now. Here we go. Quad 1 wins, most in the country.
Wisconsin's up there.
Yeah, Auburn, Baylor, Kansas, Wisconsin, Marquette. All have 7 quad 1 wins right now. Most in the country. Good on the Golden Eagles.
Marquette also, as of 2 nights ago. Credit to CBS Sports Network research team. Marquette has beaten 6 teams this season when those teams were ranked in the AP top 25. That's more than anybody else in the country.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. So UConn at Nova now takes on some added urgency here. UConn also coming off a loss to Creighton. Providence, by the way, leads the Big East standings at the moment there. So that's a compelling game in the conference. If you're curious, Nova's now 9-3. UConn is 6-3 in the league. That is a nooner on Fox on Saturday. 1 Eastern, not a great game, but it will be on CBS. Tennessee at South Carolina. I believe Parrish and I will both be on CBS Sports HQ for the post game on this one around the 3:05 Eastern time or so.
That's the best way to figure out whether I got home or not. You'll either see
that's actually a fair point.
You'll see a bookshelf behind me, or you'll see these stupid buildings.
It's a great point there. 2 Eastern. I won't be watching this game. Why? It's on the Longhorn Network. It's my own personal Pac-12 network. It's over for me. Iowa State at Texas. Quality Big 12 game. Iowa State still, from a tournament resume perspective, is solid. It is sinking in the Big 12 standings, and now it's got to go play on the road against a ticked-off Texas team that just got, taken care of easily at Texas Tech. Also at 2 Eastern, got a few games of intrigue with urgency. Texas Tech will play at West Virginia. West Virginia just trying to win for the first time since like Christmas. At any point, if West Virginia wants to win a game and actually maintain its status as an NCAA tournament team, might want to advise that. That's a 2 Eastern tip. And then also Dayton at St. Louis, 2 Eastern. If the Flyers win on the road at the Billikens, would be good for the A-10.
Did you see what they did at VCU the other night?
I did. I know.
My God.
That's the Norlander jinx supreme right there, because I highlighted VCU in the court report, lost. Highlighted Boise State in the court report, lost.
Not just lost. Got their brains beat in. Their brains were beaten.
It was not good whatsoever. It was a problem there. So Dayton, if it wins, go ahead and take a look at their resume. Kansas, Belmont, there's another good team in there. It would still be on the outskirts of the discussion. That's 2 Eastern. SMU at Wichita State, 6 Eastern. If the American is going to be a true viable multi-bid league, SMU's got a gaudy record, 16-4. There's not a lot on the resume. Can't lose at Wichita State. Go get a win. Wichita State's having a bizarrely bad season. Got to take care of that. 6 Eastern on Saturday. Shortly before that, USC plays at Arizona. That's actually a quality Pac-12 game. I believe that's a Fox tip. USC at Arizona. Trojans, some people think are a little bit fraudulent. I'm not quite there, but beating Arizona on the road would certainly go a long way. Wildcats are trying to take a little bit of a stranglehold in the Pac-12. If they can win Saturday, then they got to go on the road Monday, play at Arizona State. Tommy Lloyd's team's got a really good opportunity. And then on Saturday night, the only other game other than where we're going to pick is Mississippi State at Arkansas. That's an 8:30 tip on SEC Network. Mississippi State, if it wants to build out its own NCAA tournament resume, I would advise trying to get a win on the road against the Hogs. That's a little tough. And then Sunday's barren. I don't get it. Fine, I guess. We don't have a ton to really look for on Sunday. In fact, Maryland at Ohio State is the 1 Eastern tip on Sunday on CBS. I will be on HQ postgame. Now, because there's really nothing at night, I think the plan here, we're not competing with an NFL game. There's no delays this time, barring travel, I guess. Travel maybe. But our plan, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, 1:30 Mountain, 12:30 Pacific, 11:30 Alaskan, 10:30 Hawaiian, Sunday.
I got no idea what time we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to be.
3:30 Eastern, provided that Maryland, Ohio State doesn't go to overtime and pushes back my HQ hit. That is our general target. So if you like to watch the podcast on Sundays, or sometimes maybe you can't get to it at night, but the afternoon might be better for you, we don't have a ton to wait around on. So we are going to go earlier in the day on Sunday and talk about this huge Saturday we got going. Now, the and one. Again, one game after another. It's Illinois, Indiana, which goes into Baylor at Kansas, which goes into Duke at Carolina, which goes into Kentucky at Alabama, which goes into Gonzaga at BYU. 10 Eastern. ESPN on Kyle Collinsworth Court.
Okay.
They got the Zags by 10. Chet Holmgren was insane against San Diego. BYU lost at home to San Francisco. GP. This is BYU wins this game, then its resume gets just a gigantic boost. Humongous. If it loses, Cougars might be in some real trouble here. Because here's what's happened as of late. Lost to Santa Clara, lost to Pacific, quad 4 loss.
That's tough.
Lost at home to San Francisco, which was really great for the Dons on Thursday because now USF and BYU, they split the series in each one at the other team's place. And so now BYU is going to try and dodge a 4-game losing streak. Again, the line, Gonzaga on the road, -10. Who you got?
First off, the Marriott Center should be named after Brandon Davies. That goes.
Yeah, I said Kyle Collinsworth Court. Alliteration. Kyle Collinsworth Court. I did not give you the arena.
Well, what is the arena?
You called it Jimmer Fredette, so.
No. Jimmer Fredette. I mean, he might have had premarital sex, but I don't know anything about it. It's never been written about. But I know Brandon Davies did. He deserves to have that.
Rename it. I know you've called this place the Jimmer Fredette Center. I know you called it that.
Well, that's when I was younger.
Okay.
I've matured as I've gotten older. That's Brandon Davies Arena. The Brandon Davies Center.
Okay. Sorry, Jimmer.
Yeah. Jimmer's old news. Great. He used to score a lot once upon a time. Brandon Davies.
So did Brandon Davies, actually.
Brandon Davies was smashing. Jimmer Fredette was scoring, but Brandon Davies was smashing. That's his arena. The Brandon Davies Center. I'm taking BYU plus the 10. I don't know why. I watched Gonzaga. Chet Holmgren is awesome. 23 and 12, 4 blocks on Thursday night. He was great. But Brandon Davies alma mater. It's a weekend before Valentine's Day. If you don't go with Brandon Davies alma mater, what are you even doing?
I'm gonna go Zags. And not even to be different from you. I just BYU's. I want to wrap up my Saturday with a great game here. I hope this is close. BYU's played Gonzaga close in this building before, but GU's just been playing. It's WCC competition. So what do you want from me? But it's continued to play well as of late, and with Chet Holmgren really coming into his own now, like see what he does here against BYU. You tell me Chet again is going for north of 15 points. It's a couple of threes, 3 or 4 blocks. I'm going to say Gonzaga wins this with a little bit of ease. So you can take BYU inside the number. I will take the Bulldogs. It's a little bit of a risk. I understand that, but I'll take the Bulldogs to cover the 10.
Shouts to Devin Downey. Shouts to Chester, South Carolina. Shouts to David Hamilton. Legend. Shouts to Larnell. Thank you guys once again for listening to Ion College Basketball Podcast in the middle of the dumbest pandemic of my whole lifetime. I ain't never seen one like this, man. Woo! Woo! Something. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe anywhere you subscribe to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. 5-star review, please, at both those places. You can actually type reviews over at Apple Podcasts, so we'd really appreciate it if you do that. Type some nice words. I'll leave the words up to you, but I'd like to see nice words. There's more of us. There's more of us than there are of them. It needs to be reflected in the reviews over at Apple Podcasts. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please knock that out. It's very important. And also, if you're still here, and I don't know why you didn't leave us.
Listening, they're still here. If they hear this, they will be still here in there.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't leave us after that initial trivia time. but if you're still here, please smash the like button. Brandon Davies would do it. He risked the Final Four. You're not risking anything. So knock all that stuff out. We're going to talk to you again on Sunday. Till then, take care.